Now, if an INFJ says to you that they were using FI in that particular context, you can already tell that they are mistaken, that they're misled, that they didn't use FI. Now, I'm no longer claiming that this is because only 4 function models make sense, and therefore, by some sort of decree, anything that's said about shadow functions is nonsensical. I now recognize that this is an argument that is just not explaining anything, right? It makes much more sense to say that yes, FI, NE, TE, and SI exists in the INFJ psyche. It's true, and I would be even willing to say that they are in the shadow, right? But in the same way that the shadow is not a mirror personality, like an inverse mirror personality, the shadow functions are not really functions in the sense in which we understand the term. They're more fragmented, they're more undefined, they're more inconsistent, their boundaries are uncertain, and as a result, their agency is also much more fitful and uncertain. And this is completely consistent with the notion that they are in the unconscious. There's just not a lot of effective charge to them. That's why they're unconscious. You keep in mind that it's hard enough to use SE consciously as an inferior function. So think about functions that are even more inferior. I mean, you know, this is just not going to happen. So if someone says I use FI, you know that they mean they consciously used FI, and that's just not possible. That FI happens to INFJs, that they can even have FI moments that feel as if they're using FI, in the same way that INFJs can sometimes feel as if they're using SE. Of course, when SE is more integrated, that really happens. But when it's not integrated, INFJs can still sometimes feel as if they're using SE, but if they look more closely, they realize that really SE is happening to them, and they're just there witnessing it in real time, which can sometimes lead to a feeling of wanting to appropriate the experience, because it's also more reassuring about the wholeness of your subjectivity and your personal agency. So no, like, there's no INFJ who used FI yesterday. I mean, perhaps a perfectly integrated, spiritualized INFJ would be able to say this, but this is more of a utopian ideal type to strive toward than a real human being. So keep that in mind. To the extent that SE happens to us way more often than we use SE, this is going to be the same except multiplied by 10 with the shadow functions, which, unlike SE, which insofar as it exists in consciousness, even if not all the time, is fully formed as a function. With the shadow functions, we should really talk about shadow fragments of functions. Let me know in the comments if this video was helpful, guys. Give me a like if you enjoyed it, and don't forget, I've written 2 books on the INFJ. The first one is called The Ecstatic Soul, and you look at the INFJ personality. It's glowing like Jesus. Look at this. This is a sign you should get the book, first link below. Deepest investigation of the INFJ type you'll find online to this day, and also The Infinite Soul. And you look at the INFJ life in the modern world, which is all about the INFJ in the world and how to find happiness, purpose, value in a world we consider often hostile as INFJs. That's the first link below. And as usual, guys, don't forget that I benefit hugely from your support on Patreon. The link to my Patreon is below. I could not do it without you. So please consider supporting me. You get access to cool perks like the Discord server and a bonus video every 2-3 weeks on a topic of your choosing. A deep dive, in other words. See you soon, guys. Bye-bye.